Wow, mate, this holiday is absolutely amazing. Love the place, and you chose it. What's going on there? But well done, my friend. Yeah, love you. No, seriously, I love you. Got love radiating for you right throughout my body, from my toes to my nipples. But yeah, never been this focused, so sharp, so ready for this super long season. I just feel really horny all the time, though. Horny. I mean, I'd shag her. Definitely shag her, and I never would normally. But any hole's a goal for me right now. Who cares? As long as we can get this season done and dusted and win some trophies, I'll be super happy. Woo. Yeah. Big Yan's always here with us now. I need them coffees at least every hour. Next level though, they're expensive. And I know they're giving me a bit of a caffeine rush, and I think I'm getting addicted to this Colombian coffee, but it's worth it, mate, it's worth it. I've got plans for this season. I don't think I would have done it without them coffees, mate. I just don't think I would have done it. Nope. It's not a caffeine rush. Of course it is. Let's get another one down us, come on. What's in it then? It's what? Welcome to episode 17 of the Road to Anywhere, my series and yours here on FM22. As always, thanks for joining me. Make sure you do all the good stuff, but most importantly, thank you for your view. It means the absolute world to me. Now, in the last episode, we jumped in halfway through a season with Atlético Nacional here in Colombia, a team that had come second in the first phase, gone into the knockout semi-final group stage and bombed, and they sacked their manager. I've come in, got knocked out in the quarters of the Cup, and I got knocked out in the quarters of the Copa Libertadores, but we did win the second phase. Now, I'm kind of getting my head around this now, because of course I've now played a full season. It's the first time during this series where I kind of felt a bit of burnout, because every waking minute spare that I've had, I have been bashing through games, and what a lot of games I have had to play. But you know what? It's been fun, and I've definitely wrapped my head around it a little bit more, and I'm going to explain a bit more about it as the episode goes on. But I had a bit of a problem, because pretty much half my squad left, and this is what I was left with. But this is still going to get changed, because things happen, and as you saw in the last episode, there's a lot of players coming in. Players have signed on a free, young players have paid compensation fees for as well, and a good chunk of them are quite good, and some of them are going to go straight into this first team, but a couple of these are still going to leave. There's a lot of business, like I've had to do a lot. So it's now the start of the season, and of course I've fleshed out this squad. We had a good chunk of players coming in, and I've signed quite a few players. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this graphic for you, just so you can quickly look at how much players cost, how much I spent, how much I brought in, because I did end up selling a goalkeeper for a good few million. I was going to keep him, but good price, and I had good goalkeepers coming in, or a good goalkeeper anyway. But if you look at that graphic, if they've got the team's logo next to them, that means they're an original. They were here last year. A couple of the lads have been promoted from the youth team, were already here. A lot of these players I've paid a minimum fee or a compensation fee for, and I've paid out a good few million here or there for a good few players. I try to go down that Colombian route as well, but I've also maximised my 4 foreigner rule. Now, quickly, you can have 4 foreigners in your squad. That's what I've got. Is it Baldo, Roberto, Claude Mier, or whatever his name is, and Evandro? But you can only have 3 in on the pitch at any one time. So you can have one on the bench and swap one, but you can only have 3 in your 11. But yeah, I think I've got a good squad here. The age has come right down. I've brought in a lot of potential and a lot of decent quality. But is that going to put us on a back foot for a year? Because this is a team I think could grow into a good team, or we're just going to hit that ground running. Well, let's remove that graphic and quickly go through some of these players. I'm going to start at the bottom with a young striker who I like the look of. He's pretty good. I like him a lot. Alexandre Borgia, I think got him from Portugal, doing absolutely nothing, the 20-year-old. But I think he's got a lot of quality. He can play on the right as well, which is good. Tobon, good little player from the club. Here's one of my foreigners, Evandro, left midfielder, Brazilian. Gotta love a Brazilian now and again. João Pablo Torres. I'm guessing he's a real player, but he's very good on here. I know he's older, but at 31 we need that experience. He's got back up here with another Brazilian. There you go, Mr. Sanimento. Says he's a striker, but yeah. Roberto, right winger, not bad, got a bit of potential. I've got Larry Ramirez, another left winger. Now, before I forget, a lot of them though would only sign 1 year deals, which was a bit weird and a bit annoying. Right, so there's a bit of panic with that, but I was hoping that once the season got progressing, before anyone could poach him on a free, the good ones would re-sign. Some of them do. We'll see more about that later. Victor Zapata, midfield centre, again loads of potential. Edison, he's still a good player, 20 years old. Baldo, one of my foreigners, Argentinian, not bad. Harrison Vallejo, I love the ages, man. Got some good players here. Delgado, defensive midfielder. Sanchez, again, look at him. Good player at minute. I know he's 31, but he's too good. Martin Jaramillo. That's what I'm going for. Jaramillo. Balanta, 21-year-old defender. Got a few injuries at the start of the season, which is unfortunate. Caramona. His names are brilliant. Carlos Mario, 21-year-old, 6'2". Another injury. Bernardo, but very good little player, 30. Felipe Lugo, 18 years old. Loving it. Sebastian Diaz, a right back. Again, lots of potential. Freddie's my backup keeper. He's not the best. Like I said, I would have kept the other one, but I got some good money for him, so he went. And then here's my new keeper, Carlos, 21 years old. I think his all-round game's decent, and he should get better. So I'm pretty happy with that. And I know I don't always trust this, but, you know, the computer looks at your squad and sees how good it is, and it's put us as the number one team. So yeah, young, exciting team. Can they gel? Can we prove the bookies right? I found a great little documentary about the Copa Libertadores. It's only 7 minutes long. I'm going to put it down below in the description, and it just shows you the passion of that tournament. And there's just one bit in it which says it all for how important it is to everyone who lives in South America. It's Deco. Do you remember Deco, the player? He's won 2 Champions Leagues, and he said he would happily give both of them medals up for one Copa Libertadores medal. So yeah, I mean, it shows you the passion, man. So I have tweaked the staff. You'll remember I just plugged holes when I first came in. I didn't really have time, so I have gone through it. I've got rid of a few and replaced them with much better people, better assistant manager. I've got a better director of football, better head of youth. I've now jumped forward to the 3rd of June, and we're about to start the first phase semi-finals, the group stage, where you eventually, hopefully, win that first phase, and the money's all right. Of course, we were in the Copa Libertadores, but this is where playing the game made me realise a few things. So this team, Deportes Tolima, obviously won the Colombian Cup. They've gone back to back in that Colombian Cup. So I was wondering, how does the Super Cup work? Because you have one here in Colombia. Is it going to be them versus me or the other Millonarios? Was it one of the other phase winners? I didn't know. Well, it's not. Millonarios FC. Yeah, they won phase 1, we won phase 2, so we ended up in the Super Cup. It's 2 legs, of course. Of course, they want to make you play as many games as possible. We then drew the second leg. We should have won it 0-0, and just for you, I recorded us picking up that trophy. So here we are in all our glory, picking up our first trophy of the season, hopefully the first of many. Then it was on to the Copa Libertadores. Great tournament. I've won it many times in my YouTube career. Do you know what? I'd never won it before YouTube because I never went anywhere. Becoming a YouTuber and doing series has really broadened my Football Manager horizons, especially this series over the last 3 or 4 years. So yeah, Group B, we came second, and I'll show you. 2 games were lost. We're against Brazilian side, so it's a bit worrying. Although we give them a battle, 4-3 and a 1-0. There are victories right there. So it was enough. But is it going to be enough to win it? Well, maybe not this year. Maybe this year. We'll find out. Of course, I've qualified. And this is the thing, because I've seen this team before I came here do well in this league, get into and be top of it or second, get into that semi-final knockout group stage, and then bomb. And there's another team that's going to do that later in the season, not us. So really, end of the day, it's just about getting in that top 8. I mean, it's nice being at the top of the league, it's nice looking like the best team, but if you fall to pieces in that group stage, it doesn't matter. I mean, once Caldas might be 8th, might be miles behind me, but might get their shit together in that group stage and win it. So yeah, it's just about getting in that top 8 Forget being top of this. Quickly looking at the squad just for the contract thing. At this point, I haven't tried. Now you can see some of these lads, as in 3 of them, are contracted till 2037. The rest of them, look, at the end of the year. So you're getting close, and a lot of wanteds. You're getting close to that point where you might lose half this team and not have a chance to build a single thing. And when it came to minimum fees, it was only him, the youngster, who is unhappy at this minute because he wants a new deal. Don't worry, I'll be offering you one. So the phase 1 group stage done and dusted. We're in group A. Bossed it. I did lose my last game, but we'd already won it. So B team gave once Caldas a chance, and then it was on to the final to once again face Millonarios FC. 0-0. Could we win phase 1? Luckily, yes. So we've won the first half of the season. Brilliant. And I think I might have recorded us lifting this trophy too, to share it with you. But it wasn't always as simple this season. In the league and with Millonarios, because they did beat me in the league. Now, I'll be honest with you, you've got so many games. Sometimes it's not about rotating for rotating's sake, or maybe to save players for a different game. You're rotating because you have to, because there's so many games. Now, don't get me wrong, I have gambled in certain games before or after Copa Libertadores games, because I want to do well on the continent, and I felt like we'd be picking up enough points. And you're not chasing to be top of the league, you're chasing just to get in that top 8. And we're going to quickly look at the squad, and look, my main keeper's played 34 games already. We're only halfway through a season. Crazy. But you know, there's a lot of players around here that I have had to rotate, and you know, you're picking up niggles, injuries, there's a lot of fatigue because of the games. There's tons of them, and this is only the first half. You've got to think in the second half of the season, I've got to do it all again with Copa Libertadores games, if you stay in it, and the Colombian Cup starts, and that's all freaking 2-legged, isn't it? So it's now the 30th of August, and the second phase is well underway at this point, and we are top again. We are very good, not lost anything in this one. I've drawn to 1-9, and again, I've been rotating because the Copa Libertadores started, and we drew a big ass old Brazilian team. We were not favourites for this, but we performed. It was a lot of fun. When you are an underdog and you don't FM a team or scrape your way through, when you actually perform and you know what you've got on that pitch and they do it for you on this game, it can give you a right buzz. It gives me a buzz. Maybe not as much of a buzz as Jan's Coffees, but a very good buzz. Then went to their place. 2-1. I mean, they scored late on, penalty. But we were better than them. This is like giving me some real hope. We then drew Independiente, big Argentinian team, and absolutely bossed them. Look at that for a team performance. I mean, I wonder if it does help the fact that you play so many games. These guys are going to click. Then away from home, we had Colombia rocking. Well, a part of Colombia rocking, because we drew 1-1 and we threw to the Copa Libertadores semi-final against Palmeiras. Again, this whole update on the game that's affected them. I mean, people have commented actually from my last video when I was telling you about it, that's happened to them. It's knocked my kits out, it's knocked my names off. I should have checked, but I didn't think I'd have to. I don't think that's ever happened before, when you give a game update and it totally ruins a name fix in certain areas, not everything. But anyway, they're a huge team and top of the Brazilian national first division. Onto the Colombian Cup, got to the quarterfinals last year. This year, at this point, we've got to the semis, but I did beat team the first 3 games. I didn't beat team the last game, and then I've got Millonarios FC. Bloody hell, they definitely are a main rival at this point in time. But you don't always have to beat team it, because there's that many games. I'll just work out. It's just one of them where you're looking at what's coming next, and there have been times when I've had a game, 2 days game, 2 days game, 2 days rest. Do you know what I mean? It's freaking, it is non-stop. It is absolutely non-stop. I mean, I don't know how long I could purely stay here, just because it might burn me out. I mean, I've had to really sacrifice a lot of free time to get through this season, but we're here. Well, it's on to the Copa Libertadores. Palmeiras, number 1 team in Brazil, came to our place, and I'd say we edged them, picked up a few yellows, played pretty well. 1-1. One game away from a Copa Libertadores final. But this year, it's not to be. No, we got to a semi-final. I think we've fought very well. We knocked out some very good teams in the knockout stages, Brazilians and Argentinians, and we put up a fight in that first game. But we didn't show up at their place. Maybe the pressure got to them. There's a lot of young players there, but it does make you realise that we are young and keep the majority of this team together. They're only going to get better next year, aren't they? So, I mean, none of them have to leave. No one's got a minimum fee anymore, and they've all got a good few years on their contracts. I'll show you that in a bit. So there's no reason why we can't grow and maybe push for this next year. I mean, getting to a semi-final, I was really chuffed with that. Like, I'm not that disappointed because I know what could come. Now, there's so much to get through. Here is the Colombian Cup, and yet we won it. We won it. Millonarios, a B teamed, and we drew 2-2 with. Then we beat them. Didn't B team that. 3-0 got us into the final against Deportivo Cali, who we beat 2-0 pretty comfortably, and then 3-2. And again, I've recorded us lifting that cup, that trophy. So very excited for that. We won a Super Cup, we won the first phase, and we've won the Colombian Cup. Now, if I could win the second phase, it got me thinking, how does it work then? Because if it's phase 1 versus phase 2 winners in the Super Cup, what would happen next year? How do they decide who will play? Now, at this point, we are on an amazing run. Look at all them wins in all competitions. Absolutely fantastic. Ever since we got knocked out of the Copa Libertadores. And at this point, I'm just about to start Group A and try and win this second phase. But before we do, quickly look at it. I mean, look at some of them runs. This is everything together. Crazy. And of course, we won it because we've been very good. We didn't even lose a game in this group. Drawn 1-5. I mean, look at some of the goals as well. One game I scored 7, 7-3. Wow. 4-0 as well. So we won Group A. And once Caldas, who were in my group in the first phase and beat me, remember when I beat him that last game because I'd already won it, they'd sneaked in at the bottom. Millonarios, who were brilliant, bombed. So first up, I never had to use another goalkeeper for my main two, so my backup got 14 games this year. The fact that my other goalkeeper's still going after 62 is absolutely crazy, but if we change to average rating, look, I mean, he played a lot on the right wing. I thought he was going to be my number 1 striker, but this kid just scored goals for fun. I mean, look at the goals. Evandro, Borja on the right, Roberto when he played. He's the attacking midfielder who I brought in as a backup, but he was very good. Because we had Joan Pablo Torres, picked up a lot of injuries, but he still managed an absolute ton of games. If we look at the back end, I mean, there were some players going because they're on 1-year contracts. I think he's going as well. So because they weren't playing, they wouldn't sign. But most players did. Got rid of that 1 minimum fee. If they changed that, got them all now, pretty much. You'll see they're the ones that are going. Got a few down here on 38, but they're the older ones. We need to think about that. Everyone else I've managed to get to re-sign till 2039. That's 3 years. That's giving me enough time to hopefully grow this core of really good potential players who have dominated domestically and got to a semi-final of the Copa Libertadores. Hopefully grow them. Only add a couple, replace these holes, these players that are leaving. Kick on in that Copa next year, eh? So welcome to the Estadio Palo Grande, which on here looks really good. And the pitch looks fine, but the information at the beginning said the pitch is very poor. So we're going to have 2 quick live comms here. I'm fully expecting us to win. Great team on that pitch of mine. A team that should absolutely, really dominate. So here we go. We are playing in all green. I know a few of my Rangers followers aren't the happiest with the home kit. You can tell why. But I quite like playing in green. I feel like I played a lot in red. Tons of red teams, and red and white. But I quite like just the green. I love the third kit. The third kit's brilliant. It's one of them shirts you'd love to own. Absolutely love that kit. But as always, honestly, thank you for sticking with it. What are we on? Episode 17, although there'll be 18 episodes because obviously we had the Ajax part 2, which the second part was watched by less people. So there's people out there right now watching this who couldn't be bothered watching part 2. We won the Europa League. It's one of the best episodes ever. Knocked Arsenal out in the semi-final, which was next level. I got well excited. And then I beat Man United in the final. I got well giddy. Got my little boy on and everything because I was that excited. Here he is. He is so good. Yeah, apparently they couldn't sell all their tickets. I think it's a 33,000 capacity and there's only about 20,000 in it. You imagine most of them are ours, especially if you watch that little documentary I put in and you realise how many fans this club has and how passionate they are. But yeah, I mean, I've watched quite a few videos now. I know bits about South America, but I've just enjoyed it. Once you're on YouTube, you watch one video, it starts pumping other videos out to you, doesn't it? And you end up going down this little rabbit hole. I watched a really good one about Diego Maradona and Messi as well, which was quite good. Like, Messi's a god. There's a religion in Argentina for Maradona. A religion with like 500,000 members or something, where they pray to him. They love it, don't they? Ooh. Okay, on to the second half. Come on, 1-0. Let's put this game to bed. I'd like to totally annihilate him. Go home with our crowd behind him. Baldo. I don't know if you know what he's saying, we're all in a corner, but that corner is absolutely rammed and absolutely pumping. Drums will be getting banged. Absolutely love it. What's also cool is one of my long-time subscribers, Mr. Fruit Salad, once packed up his job, he was telling me, and went to Colombia. He was going to travel around, but he loved it there that much and actually stayed in this city. He stayed there for a couple of months. I'm well jealous. I wish I had the balls to do when I was younger. Sat my job off. Do you know what? I'm going to go travelling. I used to talk about it all the time. I was just going to go to America on my own, get a car, and go drive down the coast and sleep in it. Never did it. Gutted, really. Just can't do it now, can I? I'm old. Wife, kids. I think they might miss me. Maybe. Maybe she wouldn't. I don't know. But anyway, come on. Let's get 3-0. I want to give a few lads a sniff of a final. Oh. So 2-0. I think we should have scored more, even though we're away from home. On to the next one at our place. Let's put this to bed. So welcome to our stadium, the Estadio. You know what it's called. You know how to say it, don't you? So I don't have to say it for you. I'm not B-teamed. I'm not silly. I want to win. I have to make some changes though. Borgia's gone on the right. We've got another guy in the middle, Ibra. So still a very good team. So here we go. Clean sweep time, hopefully. It's going to take an epic failure for us not to do it. I mean, the only time I think this team's beat me is when I B-teamed it. But we'll see. Football is a funny old game, to be fair, but I'm excited for the next season because I believe in this side. I think they can go on and do something, at least get back to a semi-final. We've shown we can beat big teams in Argentina and Brazil. We've just got to get... And I can't believe this is my last game of the season. I swear to God, at one point I was looking at it thinking, shit, so many. I'm looking a bit tired, because I am a bit tired. I've had late nights and early mornings, and yeah, like I said, sacrifice some time. So could I do this for... I mean, I want to do another one. But for 3 or 4 years... Oh, wow. No, I don't think I could. I think we'll have to look for opportunities out there. But... Oh, there you go. There he is again. Most of you will know. I am a bus driver. I like to think of myself as a full-time FM YouTuber, even though I'm not, and a part-time bus driver. Got to pay the bills. I'm definitely full-time bus driving, unfortunately. And a right freaking thing happened to me the other day. Some lad gets on, right? Tattoos all over himself. He just looks dead angry. He gets on and gets his ticket out. He's got to print, and then it snaps and you take it, right? Oh, get in, Carlos. He gives it like 2 seconds and he starts yanking it. Fucking get out of the fucking machine. Like, what are you doing? You're going to break my machine. Oh, fuck off. Just giving me change. Oh, and I don't get talked to like that, mate. Get off the bus. Weirdly, he did, right? Normally they'll kick off for ages. But he gets off the bus and he's like, I'm going to be late for church. I'm like, you're going to church? Like this? It's like, I'm going to make sure when I get there, I tell God to strike you down and kill you. No, I'm an atheist, so I couldn't help it. And I was like, mate, God doesn't exist. Bye. Shut the doors, drove off. Honestly, crazy. Got another crazy one as well for you. I'll tell you that in the second half. Right, come on, boys. Let's show everyone how good we are. I mean, we've showed them anyway. 4-0 up. I think the clean sweep is happening, which is great. You know, winning's great. I do like it, don't get me wrong. But this is like an Ajax. I don't think I'm here to win everything domestically. I mean, it's good for the mentality. But I want to win that Copa Libertadores with a team like this, who's won it twice in the past. They're big enough to do it. Here he is, Evandro, get in. Free kick. And another goal. Second half's kicked off. Now, I've told this story ages ago. There's a man who gets on my bus on a regular basis. We all call him Jiggly Tits. He sits on the front seat, he whips his t-shirt over his head, and he gets his hands on his boobs like this, and he sits there for about a minute, jiggling them. right? He also has a pencil case, and he has full-on conversations into his pencil case. He's obviously, you know, there's something wrong, but he was on my bus, jiggling his tits. Next thing, right, this guy gets on, there's another goal. Right, I've made 3 changes, not taking effect. We instantly got a highlight. Is it going to be a good highlight? I mean, we are putting these boys to the sword here. We are way too good. Way too good. Look at that. Look at that for a turn. I've watched, I'll be honest with you, some beautiful football. That's South American flair. Do you know what I mean? That samba feel. I've loved it. I've loved it. And I've had to watch a lot of it. Although you might know, some of you might not, but most of my games are playing key. Most of them are playing commentary. Because I'm old school, I can read the signs and I'll just watch the replays. I've got to get through the season. You don't have to watch the game. Some people overcomplicate this and pick that out. Anyway, back to my story. So Jiggly Tits is already on the bus. And then I pull up and there's people getting on and I can hear a guy. I can see him calling me out on the phone, right? And I can hear him, it's like he's doing business deals, buying and selling shares or something. I was like, you know, whatever. And he gets on to pay. I look down at his mobile phone and it's a little kiddie's plastic walkie-talkie. Fucking bonkers. He's not talking to anyone. It's a walkie-talkie. So I've got Jiggly Tits talking into his pencil case, wiggling his boobs, and then this other fella behind him chatting to a little plastic walkie-talkie like he's buying shares on a New York Stock Exchange. Ball Tobon, he's come on. He's a guy, he's played behind the strike, he's played up top quite a lot for me. I've promoted him for the youth team. I think we've got a penalty. Here he is, Borgia. Puts it home. Well, there you go, we're getting to share one together. And like I said, it's going to be interesting to see who do we play. In the Super Cup next year, will it be the runners-up of Phase 2 or the runners-up of Phase 1? And how does it work that out? I mean, we might be able to look to see when we know who we're playing. Who got them? Is it a points thing? Is it a game against each other? You don't know, do you? I don't know. I can't find it anywhere, so I don't care. Hopefully we'll just beat whoever comes in front of us. Dominate domestically next year. But this little team of mine, the green and whites, I think could go on and do something in the Copa Libertadores. At least get back to a semi, hopefully a final next year. So yeah, second phase champions, blah blah blah. Done really well. Love it. Absolutely love it. 675 games I'm on now. Feels like 2 minutes ago in a weird way. I just hit 500. How weird is that, by the way? The Ajax thing, where I was there for like a week, is now switched around with Atletico Nacional. Don't get why. Obviously we won the second phase last year, that was it. This year, loving it, loving it, loving it. Come on, it should show us. Colombian second phase, Super Cup, first phase, Colombian Cup, brilliant. There is a manager of the year, they don't have manager of the month. Obviously I was not I didn't have a chance of winning that last year, but come on. I'm pretty sure next time we look at this, I'll have a little award right there. Oh mate, I'm absolutely buzzing with that season. Domestically dominated and got to the semi-final of the Cup. Brilliant, really. What? No, I've not had any Jan's coffees. This is a natural high. Christ, weaning myself off them once I found out what was in them. It's been tough, mate. It's been really tough. I'm actually going to meetings in Medellin. Apparently that's how you say it. I'll probably say it wrong again. I'm rubbish, but I will try my best always. Well, I won't, but I will. But anyway, great season, and hopefully next year, for everyone at home watching, we can give them something special. It's great winning all the trophies at home, but I really want a Copa Libertadores. You win that anywhere in South America, and you have a god. A proper god. Anyway, I'm gonna get my head down, mate. I'm absolutely shattered after that year. And we've got to do it all again? Christ.